With Ttool, we can perform pin and stretch. So let's look at two different ways to perform pin and stretch with Ttool. One of them, we will use the dome. So you would use this potentially when you want a larger or broader contact point. So we're going to do that on the hamstrings, and then we're going to use the rounded corner to get into the posterior shoulder. So you could apply these concepts to any muscle or tissue in the body that you want to perform pin and stretch on. I wouldn't use a emollient for this because then you'll slide around. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but if you specifically don't want to slide, obviously don't use emollient. So if we go to the hamstring, probably what we're trying to replace here with Ttool is, if you were to get in the hamstring and then have to create all this tension with your thumb, how long can you really do that before your thumb starts hurting? Or you're gonna maybe press with your fist and you're stressing your knuckles. So what we can do is if you grab Ttool by the rectangular side, by putting the stem between your fingers like this, and you'll grab on, and then you can just press this into your patient or your client's hamstring at the different spots that you wanna do this. And you press with your fingers on the underside. So it's really kind of relaxed, and then you back it up with your thumb on this, so you're not like overly stressing your fingers on the back. So it's sort of like multiple contact points on Ttool. So I'd press here, and I'll just lock my elbow out. My wrist is neutral, so it's supported, and then I will perform the motions at the knee to shorten, pin, and then lengthen. So quite easy to do. Another one, while we're here, is a lot of times you might want to perform pin and stretch on your patient's hip and rotator muscles. So we can actually do this over clothes. You can use the dome again, and you'll press here. And this is really nice to do because sometimes you want to be like hands off with certain clients in certain areas, and so this gives you the ability to do that. So I would press here if I was going to do, a pin and stretch type motion like this. And so, it saves you from having to go hands-on. It's also just more comfortable for you to do when working on your patients too, ergonomically, okay? So that's another way that you could use the dome. And now if we look at the rounded corner and we were to do, go into the posterior shoulder, and instead of, again, using my thumb or my fingers, I'll just grab like this, support the tool in the web of my hand. I'll find where I want to press. So let's say I want to go right here, and I'm pressing, if you can look, it's pressing on me here and here, and then I'm pressing, I say corner, but I might also just be pressing with the narrow flat here. So I'll press, and then what we'll do with the arm is start here, get my pressure, and then straighten the arm. And do your sets of this. I could also, if I want to take a broader contact point, or if it's uncomfortable, press the dome and then do the same type of thing. So those are a few examples of how you could use different handholds and the different parts of Ttool to perform pin and stretch. And again, you could apply this if you use, other techniques that or just generally how the body moves, right? You could do it to the pec, you could do it to the calves, et cetera, et cetera. So those are some of the ways that you could perform pin and stretch.